Good morning. I'm Amber Jayanth. Eric Elkin has the morning off. It's 5:30 and we're here to help you get your day started. Breaking overnight, a man is shot in Dayton. That shooting prompted a 999 call out, meaning an officer needs assistance. No officers were hurt, but one victim is in stable condition in the hospital right now. And our Jason Poor is live downtown where this happened. And Jason, what are you hearing now from investigators? More than 1 million Verizon customers are hacked. Surprisingly, they were all enrolled in the company's anti-hacker unit. Verizon released a statement saying that they recently discovered and fixed a security breach in their enterprise client portal. Investigators say the customers affected had their basic contact information sold. Taking a look at our top stories this morning, more drones are picking up and getting in the way of planes in the sky. The FAA says that pilots report at least 100 drone sightings every month. Babies usually come out of the womb with a little bit of hair, but this next newborn came out with a whole head full of hair. Take a look. This is a picture of 2.5-year-old Izzy, and as you can see, she has a full head of perfect hair. And the mom posted Izzy's picture on Facebook and Instagram last week, and it just took off, making the California newborn an internet star. Her mom says that she doesn't put any product in it, and her dad says that she just wakes up like this, like the Beyonce song. She woke up like that. She's beautiful, beautiful little girl. Our time now 7:43. Well, Amazon says they're paying their employees fairly. How close it is between the two genders coming up. A New York nurse surrenders her license after she took pictures of an unconscious man's genitals. 27-year-old Kristen Johnson was charged last year after a 9-month investigation. She eventually pleaded guilty to misdemeanor disseminating of unlawful surveillance photos. As part of a plea deal, she was asked to give up her license and spend 3 years on probation. That victim was one of her patients. The woman accused of leading police on a chase, then causing a deadly crash, has been indicted. 18-year-old Kendra Shackelford is charged with vehicular homicide along with other charges. Prosecutors say on March 17th, Shackelford stole a car on Miller Lane in Butler Township before getting into a chase. They say that she ran a red light and then hit another car. 50-year-old Marcus Harper died. Shackelford remains in the Montgomery County Jail on a $750,000 bond. Only on Fox 45, a 2-year-old boy shot in the head in Dayton Christmas Eve is making incredible strides with his recovery at Dayton Children's Hospital. Christian Green was riding in his car seat when shots were fired into the car along Gettysburg Avenue. He suffered massive blood loss and a stroke, and doctors didn't think he'd live. But now, 3 months later, he's learning to walk and talk all over again. His mom, Yvette, and his therapist are thankful for the miracle that meant the difference between life and death. The Library of Congress is making a big change. It will no longer refer to undocumented immigrants as illegal aliens. The organization will now use phrases like unauthorized immigrants or non-citizen. And this comes after students at Dartmouth College called for the change. And those behind the change are now calling on media outlets and politicians to follow suit. Donald Trump is in hot water after some controversial comments he made last night. The Republican frontrunner first said if abortions were made illegal, women who got them should be punished. But then a few hours later, he changed his tune. Here's Mary Maloney with what happened.
Amber Jayanth now joins us live with more information on what's been happening this morning. And Amber, we saw this happen a little bit before 30, very backed up, but it looks like traffic's moving much better behind you now.
That's right. It did clear pretty quickly. We're right now in Austin Landing. We had to move off of the highway because it is back open. But you can see behind me, we're overlooking the highway now. Traffic is moving along just fine this morning, but it was closed for a couple of hours. And it all started from a crash that happened near exit 41. This is a look at the scene from earlier this morning. That crash happened just before 4:30. Now, a sergeant with OSP tells us that a car was stopped off the side of the highway. Then a tow truck driver was called in to help, and there was some type of miscommunication. So another tow truck was called in, and a driver in this white car didn't slow down in time and just slammed into the back of that second tow truck, pushing it about 50 feet. Now, that woman in the car and that tow truck driver were taken to the hospital, but we are told, we just got an update, they are expected to be okay. Now, at this point, OSP is not saying if the tow truck driver had on its flashing lights. They are still investigating to see which driver was at fault, but so far no citations have been issued. And right now, OSP is at the hospital interviewing that tow truck driver just to get more information about what happened this morning. But this highway was shut down for about 2.5 hours. Some oil did leak on the highway. That caused some delays as crews were cleaning up the area. But again, right now, this crash is still under investigation just to see exactly who was at fault this morning. But as I get more information, I will bring it to you. For now, reporting live in Miami Township, Amber Jayanth, Fox45Now.com.
Emily Sears was a 6th grader at Central Middle School, and even though her family says she was being bullied at the school, they never imagined she would end her life. I talked to Emily's uncle, Richard Polson. He tells me Emily always had a smile on her face.
She was a little girl, and she'd give these hugs that, like she was afraid she'd fall off the planet if she let go.
But she was hurting. Emily was the oldest of 2 brothers. She was always looking out for everyone else, but didn't want anyone to worry about her.
I think that's where the main problem is. She didn't talk to anybody looking for help. She internalized it all.
Emily was found unresponsive in the bathroom after recess. Studies show that 4 out of 5 teen suicide attempts have been preceded by clear warning signs. We reached out to a child psychiatrist. He tells us if you see sudden changes in your child's behavior, like withdrawing from regular activities or sudden sadness, it's time to take action.
If there's more anger or irritability, those are definitely big red flags that you should watch out for, especially if they're also talking about, death and more darker topics.
Richard says the signs were there, and Emily had just started therapy.
She was starting to act out a little bit, but she's also right at puberty. This is horrendous. Never in my life did I believe that suicide could be such a factor for kids so young.
Now the family is holding a memorial benefit tomorrow to raise awareness. They say if they can just save one child, Emily's death would not be in vain. Amber Jayanth, Fox45Now.com. Right now in the Dayton and Columbus area, the AIDS Resource Center has 150 patients in the PrEP program. That number continues to grow each week. This is the blue pill that's saving lives. It's called Truvada, and when taken every day, it's 99% effective in preventing HIV.
People in the community are very excited about it. They're excited about having the opportunity to finally have something to help them to reduce it.
Shiren Jones oversees a pre-exposure prophylaxis program in Dayton, also called PrEP. Isaac Tobler is one of her patients.
I've dated people with HIV at first, necessarily. I've encountered people unknowingly and then found out later that they had HIV.
The program caters to those at high risk of getting HIV due to sexual activity or drug use.
Anyone that is sexually active is at risk for acquiring HIV because you don't always know who has it. So especially the age, 13 all the way to 60. I have people coming in that are in their 50s and 60s that are newly diagnosed.
The program is helping Isaac from becoming another statistic.
Well, just being as far as in the community, you see the spread and just didn't want to get caught up in that, I guess.
The AIDS Resource Center also has a PEP program for those who have come in contact with HIV. Patients typically have 72 hours to get treatment before the virus attacks the body. For more information on the program, just visit our website. Reporting in the studio, Amber Jayanth, Fox 45 News on ABC.